There's never a dull day. Look how they tried to slip this in there, slip this by us with all this big stuff that's been happening lately. But we're not missing too many things. I'm going to tell you right now. Listen to this, right? This article is titled, How Blockchain Tech Can Streamline Treasury Operations. Now, a while back, we covered an article. It was about the XRPL being involved with the tokenization of treasuries, right? And matter of fact, give me 1 second. I think I have that right here. I believe that's what this is. Okay. It says this, the XRP ledger and the U.S. Treasury are connected through tokenized U.S. Treasury bills, T-bills, which were introduced to the XRPL on August 1st, 2024. Now, I know clearly, wait a minute. When you go back to this article here, what they're talking about, if you read this article, it's much more obtuse, but look at the way that they're starting on the XRPL. They're starting from the top, ensuring that everything is as good as possible so that when everything has to become more widely used or obtuse, that there's no problems whatsoever. We already work with the top people. We work with the top things, something that's very popular. And now, there's nothing for us to work with SMB, small, medium-sized businesses, SMEs, whatever you call it, small, medium-sized enterprises, etc. There's nothing for us to do that, right? So let me read this little tidbit to you. It says this, blockchain technology and public blockchains in particular are opening a number of new use cases, one of which is to transfer value from one country to another. Raj Damodaran, EVP of Blockchain and Digital Assets at MasterCard's toll payments. Don't worry, it gets deeper. When it comes to cash flow, managing liquidity across a web of subsidiaries, bank accounts and currencies has traditionally required a blend of guesswork. That's insane for them to even say that, guesswork, and delayed reporting from the finance function. Blockchain changes the game by providing treasurers with real-time visibility into cash positions across the organization and allowing them to make more precise funding and investment decisions. Listen, so what they're telling you is, and I know we've spoken about this quite a few times, is blockchain, and I'll read the rest in a moment, blockchain is going to dominate treasury operations. Why is this important? Because people like myself have been saying this for quite some time, but to have these types of big entities confirm it, that's something completely different. That's a whole lot more potent for a lot of people across the board, right? When it comes to accepting this as a reality. Now, if we're dominating treasury operations across the board in as obtuse a way as possible, what does it mean for that price? What can it do to that price? This is just logical. Well, I'm just asking questions. But I think using deductive reasoning, that price will have to explode. This is merely one avenue to trillions of dollars. One. Now add them all up. Add them all up. Now, so what is to become of these chains like XRPL, XRP, Chainlink? I had a Chainlink article. My goodness, what happened to Chainlink article? Chainlink, etc. that are going big right now. It says here, quote, in 5 years, we might have a blockchain or state machine capability where financial institutions involved in a transaction can look at the common state and use it as a source of truth to update their own balance sheets, unquote. Tony McLaughlin, emerging payments at cityservicesTollPayments.com, which is interesting. Did you see what's going on with Citibank right now, what they're involved in? This last 2 days, the articles that came out. But if they're going to do this, what does that mean? He said in 5 years, let's break it down. We might have a blockchain. Well, first of all, there's another timeline, but we might have a blockchain or state machine capability where financial institutions involved in the transaction can look at a common state. How's that going to be achieved? And use it as a source of truth. The only way you can accomplish any of that is to have interoperability across the board. That's the only way. Well, how are you going to achieve that? There's so many geopolitical tensions right now. Even I can't miss that news. All right. And I try to stay hardcore into the financial news. This is what I do. So I have to stay focused. Even I can't avoid it. There's so many geopolitical tensions. How does every system not end up siloed? There's even geopolitical tensions within factions that are supposed to be huddled close together. Did you see that? Right. So how do all of these systems not end up siloed? Then if they're siloing, you need a neutral party. You know where I'm going with this. You need a neutral party to connect everything together. Who's that going to be? Who has the global reach? Who has established partnerships in 2024 that has the global reach to actually pull all these systems together? I mean, there's a small group, but at the front of that group is Ripple with their XRP. That's who's at the front, in my humble opinion. This is what I've seen. Like I said, there's a small group there, though. But it looks like a lot of them are coming together. Cardano, Ripple, Hedera, all of them have these connections now where they claim that there's a possibility they may congeal and work together. Did I say something about Chainlink also? I think we covered something recently about that, but I don't want to say it without remembering exactly what it was. There's been so much happening. I can't remember everything. I don't claim to be able to do such a thing. But let's move on here. Then look at this. This article is titled Chainlink Microsoft Banco International. I'm shorted to Inter. I'm sure it says it's international. Collaborate on Brazil's CBDC pilot. How many of these bank coins are operational and have connections in Brazil? Because Ripple was down there in Brazil. I'm not sure what came of that, right? They were helping some people out down there. Stellar was in Brazil. Remember that for a long time. They were helping some people out down there. They have connections down there. Now Chainlink is down there, but they're making it clear they're working on this CBDC pilot. Chainlink is a major, my humble opinion, not financial advice, of course. Banco Central do Brasil, Brazil's central bank, has launched phase 2 of its Drex central bank digital currency CBDC pilot, targeting improvements in cross-border agricultural commodity transactions and supply chain processes. Phase 2 focuses on building a trade finance solution using oracles and blockchain technology. The initiative brings together Microsoft, Chainlink, Banco Inter, and Sevencom to explore automated trade settlements. Chainlink is rapidly becoming a major player day by day, bigger and bigger. I still have no idea how people are not bullish on Chainlink. And I remember I've been talking about Chainlink since I've been talking about Solana way back when. All right. So when people said both of them were dead, that's what they told me. All right. It doesn't look like Solana is too dead to me, does it? And I just feel strongly. And remember, I only speak for myself. I feel strongly Chainlink can have a major run. I do. I mean, how much more bullish can you get? They're working with a bunch of banks in Australia. They're working on a CBDC project in Brazil. They have this connection with Swift. They announced that they're going to be expanding that. How much more bullish can you get? It says Chainlink, decentralized Oracle provider, will provide its cross-chain interoperability protocol, CCIP, to facilitate secure cross-platform transactions and enable a delivery versus payment DVP blockchain-based mechanism to improve transparency and efficiency. The pilot seeks to integrate CBDCs and blockchain technology into Brazil's economy. Let me stop there. Let me pause there. See, and this is what's happening. People don't see it, even though they've watched many things like this unfold over the years. These are just starting points. They will grow from here. Everything that we see now, it will be bigger and expanded into the future. So although these things are great, sure, it's just a foot in the door. That's it. This is the beginning of the race. We haven't even gotten a sprint just yet. All right, so now let's move on here. This is our first little bit of Bitcoin news for the day. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options see unheard of. $1.9 billion traded on first day. It says Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas said, quote, $1.9 billion is unheard of for day one, as unquote, as the debut for options on BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF saw huge volumes. My question is, why would it not? Options contracts on BlackRock spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, saw almost $2 billion in total exposure traded, which may have helped push Bitcoin to its new high of over $94,000. Delicious. Quote, final tally of IBIT's first day of options is just shy of $1.9 billion of notional exposure traded via 354,000 contracts, unquote. Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyfert reported on November the 20th. These options, quote, these options were almost certainly part of the move to the new Bitcoin all-time highs today, unquote. He added, it says Bitcoin hit a new peak of $94,105 on Coinbase on November the 19th, as per TradingView. Quote, 1.9 billion. Why they keep putting that there? They say, once again, 1.9 billion is unheard of, but they've already said that like 3 times. I don't understand why they do that. The new options contracts give investors the right to trade shares of the ETFs at predetermined prices, allowing them to bet on its price movement. Notional exposure measures the market exposure from the option position, accounting for the price changes relative to Bitcoin and the total value of cryptocurrency controlled by option contracts. All right, so let's move on. We have some more Bitcoin news to get to today. So now let's go here. Bitcoin's looking really good, isn't it? Doing very good. Just like we said, I remember it just sticks in my mind when people were saying Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is over, you know. And it clearly is not. It clearly is not. All right. Wait. Let me skip this one. It's another options article. My apologies. Let's go here. I have another one. Okay, so this article is titled, BlackRock supports U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve amid rumors of executive order. Listen, what's important here and interesting is that BlackRock is supporting that. I mean, they should, considering their position. But the interesting part about that is typically what BlackRock wants, they get. They have a lot of power, a lot of money, and they wield a lot of that behind the scenes, allegedly, right? It says Porter also revealed that state governments are rushing to pass legislation establishing their own strategic Bitcoin reserves. Okay, well, let's go down to the article, because you can't just say that and not tell us who. What states? It says Satoshi Act Fund CEO and co-founder Dennis Porter revealed the development, which has sparked renewed debates over Bitcoin's role in national economic strategy. BlackRock, which manages more than $10 trillion in assets, has yet to release an official statement confirming the claim. Wait a minute, what? If that's then okay, yeah. So you're just saying it's just rumors. Did it say that at the top? Let me go back to the top. Bear with me 1 minute. BlackRock supports U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve amid rumors of executive order. Amid rumors of executive order. You didn't say in the title that BlackRock saying that was a rumor. All right, now come on now, article writer. So no one confirms that BlackRock is pushing this. Oh, but they probably heard behind the scenes, right? That's what I'm assuming. It says here, Porter told Crypto Slate, quote, it's a no-brainer for BlackRock to push for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Bitcoin aligns incentives. Now that BlackRock is pro-Bitcoin, they will push policy that supports the technology. When incentives align, we all win. That's what I was saying. Like, it would make sense, but still, we want something more firm, I would think, than I wouldn't act on a rumor, but it would make sense if they did. It says Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis has already introduced legislation for strategic reserve called, quote, the Bitcoin Act, and previously stated that it will be implemented within the first 100 days of certain political events that will be taking place very soon. Government advancing plans. Wait a minute. See, he said there's other governments. Who are they? I don't see anywhere where they talk about that. Now, we did hear about one recently. They were just, I can't remember which company it was. They were trying to push India, I believe it was, to consider Bitcoin as a reserve asset. That's it. I didn't hear about anyone else. You tell me. Did you hear about anybody? Did you hear about any other countries that are doing that or being pushed to do that? Because I haven't heard it. All right. So now, let's go on here. We're going to get a little Cardano news in here. All right. Cardano apparently is looking really good. This article is titled, Cardano price breaks out. Popular crypto pro sees it hitting $10. What I take from this is that Cardano was just super bullish. I knew it for a long time. It's a moneymaker. And I think that people haven't seen anything that it can do just yet. In 2021 bull run, Cardano was making magic, for a lack of a better word. So now it says Cardano price made a strong bullish breakout on Wednesday, November 20th, as the crypto fear and greed index rose and Bitcoin reached a record high. Cardano, and is showing a current price increased by 10.69%. The popular proof of stake cryptocurrency surged to an intraday high of 83 cents, bringing its market cap to nearly $30 billion. The rally was driven by the ongoing risk-on sentiment in the crypto market, reflected in the fear and greed index jumping to 84. Bitcoin, which is showing at a positive 2.37% as of now, also climbed to a record high of $94,200, with analysts optimistic that it could reach $100,000 as soon as this week. Three key drivers of growth. It says first, November seasonality is supporting cryptocurrencies as it is historically the best performing month for the asset class. Well, there's a lot of, also just aside from that, there's just a lot of positive catalysts for crypto globally. There's a new energy and allegedly in the politics, globally, where a lot of these countries are supposedly becoming pro-crypto. So that's good as well. There's a lot of new utility cases for crypto being come about. There's a lot of collaboration where now these companies are talking to each other. You have Ripple talking to Hedera talking to Ripple, Cardano talking to Ripple. There's a lot going on right now positively. There's a lot of good news coming out about these developments as well being spread around. There's just a lot of forward momentum for crypto as of now. So I never want to overlook that. All right. So now we're going to end off with this one here today, because the BIS, for some reason, all right, I'm going to keep my eye on this because they've said this before, but now they said this, but it was like 2 years ago in some of those documents that they put out. And I know some of you may remember this if you've been here for quite some time, but they're saying it again. They're letting people know DeFi is not decentralized, right? But hear it once more. I've said this before, that this is their position and they're going to break it down to you. So this article is titled, wait, let me go back to the top. My apologies. BIS study questions decentralization and DeFi liquidity provision. All right, let's scroll down here. It says the BIS found that liquidity provision is not decentralized apart from its technological implementation. Its findings suggest that retail LPs are outperformed by a few sophisticated players, dominating the liquidity market. Quote, these players hold about 80% of total value locked and focus their attention on liquidity pools that have the most trading volume and are less volatile, unquote, the report stated. The study found that retail LPs earn a smaller share of trading fees and experience lower relative investment returns. Additionally, the BIS noted that retail providers, quote, lose money on a risk-adjusted basis, unquote. Although the paper only focused on Uniswap, the researchers said that Uniswap v3 is, quote, not special, unquote. Well, we know that because even though this paper may focus on that, once again, they covered crypto overall in this aspect of showing DeFi is not decentralized like 2 years ago in a full paper. There was like there was a full paper, and then there was another paper that partially covered this as well. But they made this clear a long time ago. But let's keep going. The researchers said it's not special, and its findings may apply to other DEXs. They suggested that future research should examine the roles of retail and institutional participants across various DeFi applications, such as lending and borrowing. So now that they know that a few sophisticated players can dominate the liquidity pools, how could that be used by them? I wonder. Why were you researching this, BIS? I wonder. Interesting, isn't it? They never do anything without reason, So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.